Really?
We'll call the meeting of the Urbana Free Library Board of Trustees to order. Oath of office. Oh, yes, we have an oath of office. Barbara hasn't been sworn in.
Hey.
Barbara swears in Barb.
Right. Okay. Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of
and the
Illinois,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of Library Trustee to the best of my ability. Okay, a little slow down. And I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Office of the Library Trustee
of the Office of Library Trustee
to the best of my
to
abilities.
the best of my abilities.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome.
We've missed you.
Roll call.
Yes,
There's
I
one
do
right
have a
there.
pen.
Perfect, okay.
For
James?
once.
Okay.
For once.
Michael?
Yes.
Okay. Sharif?
Huh?
Are you here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here.
Chris?
Here.
Barb?
Here.
Barbara?
Here.
Lupe? Here. Okay, and we're missing John.
Quick question, is the internet dead?
I just got on,
Oh, you got on?
yes.
So you can't find it?
Don't worry,
Okay. Addition, correction, or modification of the agenda, you might want to go down to, before we approve them, item 10.5 has been taken care of previously, and so we're removing that from the item. Any other additions or corrections? If not, do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Public comments. Do we have any public comments tonight? Celeste? Celeste?
I'm sorry,
Do we have any in public?
we do not.
Okay,
I mean, unless I'm like, so no one that, to my knowledge.
okay. Presentation of the MCOR project. Craig?
Good evening. I'm Craig Schonfeiler, Assistant City Engineer with Urbana. I'm trying to move back and forth between the laptop and here, point up here. Overall, this is the MCOR project map. I really can't quite see it, but we have Lincoln Avenue over here and then Busey, so we're just going to be west of Busey when we start the project, and then wrap up here at Ray Street, which is by you folks there. The way the project's tracking right now, we would say go out to bid here later on this fall. The water main work would take place over the winter, and then we'd hit full construction, say March, April next year, all the way through November. We will be closing down sections of the road to rebuild it because we are actually taking up the pavement. We're going to put some new storm sewer in, and we're going to put the new pavement back. The width of the road will stay the same as it is now. What we will be looking at doing is removing parking and putting in bike lanes along the length of the project. Eastbound wise towards the city, there will be some new bus pads at select locations. Westbound wise, there'll be bus pads with shelters and kiosks. The reason it's westbound and not eastbound is more because of the ridership that MTD has is heading towards the university more than actually downtown Urbana. We'll also be redoing all the sidewalks throughout the project and all the approach driveways. So it's a pretty big undertaking. This is actually project 5 out of 5 projects. So we're the last one. Project 1 in Urbana was there in front of the Illini Union all the way down to near Hintercups. Project 2 and 3 were in Champaign, and then 4 is going on right now down by the undergrad. So that kind of gives you an overview of the project. I'm going to kind of just walk through some plans real quick, so just bear with me on navigating the maybe probably I'll pull up the pavement marking plans. So I realize I'm an engineer, so I live this, but just kind of bear with me here. So we have Lincoln Avenue here, and then this is Green Street. So like I said, we'll have bike lanes, and then we'll have markings through the intersection also crosswalks on the side here. Like I said, the width will be pretty much the same as it is right now with new sidewalks. We are going to be approaching property owners about saving trees where we can and moving the sidewalks out onto their property. We do have a significant amount of trees that we are removing for the project. The canopy is in its older stage, so it's a good time for that to occur, to the replacement. We do have replacement trees scheduled to be put back on the property, within the city's property.
Those replacements are on between the curb and the sidewalks, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. So as we walk down through, you see this is the First Presbyterian Church. We have some obligations here to restore back a turnout for the church. Basically new bike lanes, throughout. I'll be going to the committee of the whole here in a couple weeks to talk with Cerise and her counterparts about the removal of parking. It's been approved by the Urbana Plan Commission, our traffic commission.
How long will Green Street be out of pocket?
Well, so we'll have to, they're still working on the timing. It might be like 2 blocks at a time, or possibly 3. And obviously we've got to get folks in and out, but there will be major inconveniences through that. So we've got a lot of work to do to sort all that out. But we're going to ask people to bear with us because there's really no other way to construct the road without taking it out and putting it back. Now, when the marathon goes on, because that's a qualifier for the Boston Marathon, they can't move the route, so we'll have to restrict them to one side during that time. And then once the marathon gets done, it just opens up full tilt.
So how is that going to affect traffic coming into the library?
Well, when we get down there, I'll show you some of the ideas on that.
Yeah.
So this would be, say some of the bus pads, this is Orchard here. There would be a bus pad here, which we don't have now. There would be a bus pad here with a kiosk and a shelter.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of a little bit of the example of that.
So what about cars trying to come into the library?
Well, we'll get down to that in a minute here.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and then
Sorry.
this is the Universal Church here with a pull-off. Again, bike lanes throughout the project. The goal of this project is for it to be a gateway to downtown Urbana. It connects the university. The overall goal, though, was to connect downtown Urbana, campus town, to downtown Champaign. And that's part of, it's a Tiger Grant project, which is a federal grant. The overall initial cost of the project was about 44 million. We received about 18.7 was the federal share, with the balance being local, split between Urbana, Champaign, U of I, and MTD. So here's the portion that's near you folks. We're going to rebuild the center island. We'll leave that in place here. The lane configuration is essentially the same with just some adjustments to this taper. We have to work out through staging to get folks in and out of here. The idea, some of that would be, say, build portions of this at one time, and then like up to a certain point, and then allow traffic to come in and out of like half of the entrance, and that's what Celeste and I are talking about. And then say build the other portion and then move traffic over. So it'll be down to one lane in and out. We've done that at a lot of locations throughout the town when we've had to do it. I can't tell you that it won't be an inconvenience, but what we'll do is we'll try to stage that so that we get done and out. But we have used high early concrete in the past, which is fast setting. We're probably not going to do that. The reason being is we want to look at more longevity. We've done some of that through the city 15, 20 years ago. We're seeing the negative aspects of that. Things are deteriorating with that. So we want to balance the inconvenience, but we want to be done and out of here so we don't have to come back.
So you decide against doing a temporary entrance from Race Street?
Yeah, at this time. Yeah. Now, we'll get into more of the logistics of the staging
They
here
decided against,
in the next couple of
because we
months.
could still go with it, I think.
So, and we'll be working with Celeste on
That's
Can patrons park across the street?
this. The township lot would be open, but during construction, it's going to be not encouraged to walk across here. We would prefer people to walk down here, and actually, that's the preferred route anyway. So we've been asked to look at a crosswalk through here. It doesn't meet the criteria to warrant a crosswalk. We have certain levels of basically demand, so it doesn't meet that. We really prefer everybody to walk here where there's a stop control situation.
How about people parking across the street over at Lincoln Square?
This will be, yeah, they could certainly, if you have an arrangement there, do there. So I think the way I envision it is we're coming in, trying to get done and out of this zone as quick as we can. When I say quick, though, it'll be, a month or so type thing. I'll know more and convey that to Celeste.
We have talked one time, and I don't know that this was shared with your group or not, that if we were to develop the parking lot across the street, remove the buildings, we would want crosswalk lights. Would this be the time to have that in the plan for the future, which is probably several years down the road?
So we have metrics, we have guides that we use to determine those locations. And this location would not warrant it.
If we have parking across the street, it would not warrant lights?
No, we reserve those for locations that have high pedestrian volume.
Well, with our size of parking lot, I would think that would not be
So
your...
what that would mean would be, say, 18 to 20 in an hour.
But we would tear down those existing buildings, and it would be more than 18 or 20 cars.
No, it'd be 18 or 20 people crossing the road in an hour that would warrant that. So just to give you I do this all through the city. We have these guidelines, and we have to follow the guidelines, because otherwise things get a little bit chaotic. We don't have a reasoning why we put it here and there, so we have these guidelines. I don't think, well, I can tell you at this time, it doesn't warrant it. We would, if there was development on the south side of the road, then we would revisit that at that time. And that's because we don't put traffic signs up when they're not warranted.
I have a real hard time deciding that, because our traffic is our major problem, parking. And if we tear down those buildings and we put half of our parking over there, we're going to have traffic from over there.
Well, so we would ask the folks to walk up there to race across the road. That's the safest
Could
way.
that be a push button or something so they would activate?
We would not do that at a stop situation. So I'm the traffic engineer too.
Okay, I don't doubt that but I'm doubting your feasibility that we won't have traffic, because parking is our major problem, and we have to work at that. And if we're telling our people, you just get across the street somehow, we prefer you go to the stop sign, but you and I both know that doesn't always happen. And so we've got to be concerned about our patrons getting across that street.
I understand.
And it's gonna be busier.
Anything different than I would tell anybody else.
Okay.
And that's really a safety consideration, quite frankly.
To not have.
Yes.
Really?
And when we have a stop situation, we would not put in signs. You don't mix and match, basically a push button or signals with a stop situation. We don't have that anywhere.
I can see that being a problem, but I still think that, whew. Does anybody else see this as a problem?
It seems like easily we'd get 18 to 20 people crossing.
So that would be every time that, I mean, when we go out and we
In and out.
measure that, I
Yeah.
mean, if you realize that's a fair amount. When I go through the city, and I've done hundreds of these studies,
Yeah.
if you look through the city, there is not very many of those locations.
Celeste, you've got it.
I just want to make sure I heard you correctly, which is right now, there isn't the need. And in the future, if the plan were to move ahead in that particular way, it could be reevaluated.
Yes.
But we would
Okay,
not put a
okay.
stop sign or make any
Okay,
changes
we're ahead of the
now.
game then.
Yeah.
We're
Or
probably,
you asked, is it too
Okay,
early or is
because-
this the right time? And I think what I'm hearing you saying is this
Okay.
is not the right
This is-
time.
Okay.
Thank you, that makes.
So any
That
development, no matter what happens, we would then reevaluate
Okay.
at that time. We don't put things in for the future when we don't know, I mean, maybe it never happens.
well, that's true.
When you
That's
have to
true.
monitor, you just set up a camera and
Yeah.
record over a
Yeah,
couple
we have
days.
a camera system that we set up, and then we do 12-hour counts. And then we have a company that processes that. In the old days, we stood out there and counted, actually tallied marked it.
Yeah, that seems
It's just I'm
inefficient.
Yeah.
But I agree right now, you could not run a camera and get 18 people. It's only if we make that a primary parking lot that we would expect more. Okay, I can see it.
I can too, but I just see, just coming here tonight, you know, a whole 4 people with
Yeah.
a stroller, and there were 4, just, and people were streaming in to the elevator, so.
I also think it would probably be an issue simply because at the corner of
Well, that's
Green
the
and
four-way
Race Street,
stop, I
there's
see.
a stop sign already there.
Right.
So,
It's a 4-way stop.
Yeah.
and it's a 4-way stop, so, and the crosswalk is not, crossing the street is not that far. But I can also see what you're saying, Chris, in the sense that people put their, yeah, I live.
Their life
Right.
in their hands. yeah.
And I've talked to Craig about the whole thing with University Avenue and the fact that there's not there's no crossing between Goodwin and Lincoln Avenue. And you have students, I have
Ooh.
seen them just jet across, and I've seen them just, I've almost hit a couple of them, and I had the right of way, and they're not making, they're just into with their music, or they're on their phones, and they're just crossing the street, and it's just like, oh, you know, so you never know how a situation is going to be. If in fact that ever happens,
Yeah.
where we sell those buildings and get a parking lot over there, it'd be interesting to see how many people actually walk to the corner.
Yeah.
And do what they have to do, and,
But I hear you that we're thinking
Yeah.
too far out.
It's premature,
Yeah.
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 I can't get them to give me what I want, so.
And she's city council.
Right, so hey.
I'm tough that way. The price I pay, yeah.
Yeah. Pay the cost to be the boss.
So let me just do a precursor for the next topic once this loads. So this is the same kind of layout again, races here, cedars over there, and greens here. So this would be the right-of-way acquisition, so this would be the property that we're asking to purchase on the corner. The need for that is we're actually changing the radius of the corner and making it larger. Why is that? Because we'll have
The
buses
buses.
turning, and we need to make that safe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the sidewalk pushes out into the lot more. Celeste asked me to mark this location today, and I did. And I went out and looked at it.
Yeah, I was trying to envision that, I was sitting in the parking lot trying to,
There's white paint on the
Okay.
grass and on the part of the sidewalk.
Oh, so we
Take
could
a
go
look
out and
here.
take a look at it, yeah.
okay.
Then these are what we call temporary construction easements, this one and these two. And you folks own this parcel down here too. So what they are is, it's basically a one-year rental that allows our contractor to get access to your property to reconstruct that entrance here, and likewise do some grading and sidewalk work and a little bit of work on this entrance here on your property. After the construction project's done, it goes away. It's never recorded with the county recorder's office. This one is, no, this would be a permanent transfer of ownership. You have, I believe, the conveyance documents, so we can talk about that when it's time. But that gives you a little bit of an overview of where those items sit.
Celeste, does staff presently enter their parking lot from Green Street? Both.
They come off of Green Street and
Okay.
they come off of,
Okay.
they drive through the township parking lot as well as coming off of Gate Street.
Okay.
I thought you were asking where we cross the street, sorry.
No.
I won't say where.
We're not going to get there.
No.
Go there.
Where's the staging area going to be for, during this part of the
That's a good
construction?
question. So when we do state, we basically design the road, we bid it out, and the contractor in the marketplace has to figure out where to stage. Okay. So we don't select the staging. So what they do a lot of times is they'll contact other property owners. They may even contact Lincoln Square, who knows?
Or the
To see it
funeral home
partly
there,
down
where
there.
that was.
They could even contact you folks. Then what happens is the city isn't involved, but there would be an arrangement made between you folks, and it could be a rental, or it could be, or any property owner, and then what gets restored, there's trade-offs that happen, horse trading, you do this for me and all that. The city does not get involved in those, though. We stay out and we watch from the side. The reason being is those things can get touchy. I don't want to deal with those.
I mean, normally you'd have a trailer for at least park for the whole project for this phase, and
Yeah.
it's either going to have to be one end or the other. I'm guessing this end would be more logical.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room, as you can
No,
tell.
exactly. That's why I'm kind of curious. I looked at it all, saying, here.
Yeah, it's a tight corridor to work
Yeah.
from.
Has it never been considered to widen? I was surprised when you said it wasn't widening it.
Well, so the current width minus the parking serves our needs.
Oh, minus the parking. Okay.
So we always look at step one, and we were able to accomplish step one. So what step two would be, let's say we anticipated a significant more amount of traffic. Then we might look at that. But I have to tell you that we hardly ever take that approach anymore. Years ago, there was more of an expansive approach that was car-centric. Now we're multimodal, and hence the bike lanes, hence the focus on transit and then cars. So we really don't want this to be a raceway, or we just want to get people safely from campus town, hopefully to downtown Urbana.
Without potholes.
Yeah, without potholes. And the road needs some help.
Yeah.
So we'll get a new road out of it.
Any other questions? Thank you very much for
Thank you.
enlightening us.
Yeah.
We've heard about this for a long time,
Yeah.
and this is more good. Okay. Amanda, do you have our update for us?
No, I think Barbara for the.
Oh, Barbara's going to do it first.
You want me to give a report on the?
I'm not a process team member, so it'd probably be.
Yeah, okay. The process team has been busy, although I just got back really from Albania, but we've got a couple of upcoming meetings, which I think is there one on Thursday. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
And I feel like I have had ample time to make suggestions. We just got a document. What is the official name of that document that I just made a ton of notes on?
The learning report?
The learning report. And I read it and made a ton of comments, and they are being incorporated in one way or another. One of the things I've discovered in this process is that a lot of the suggestions I have don't really belong in that document per se, but maybe at our board retreat as things the board should think about or talk about. And Celeste has been great about that and made notes so that they won't get forgotten, but they just don't belong in that document. So I don't have anything else to say at this point. If there is anything you'd like me to talk
Jane, do
about.
you have anything to add? No, okay.
But I do feel like I have had an ample opportunity for input, and I am really glad we pushed the schedule. It's a month, we've got a month more, and I am so grateful. I was really feeling like it wasn't enough time.
And we will go over dates tonight, won't we, as far as the various ones at some
There
point.
is a new time frame, the new, in your board package.
Yeah,
Timeline is the word I was looking for.
yeah, yeah.
So the board is going to meet on August 29th to have a discussion of the learning report,
Yeah,
as opposed to trying to do it all in a board meeting.
Yeah.
yeah.
Will we see that learning report before that meeting?
We're hoping to send it out to you. The process team meets this Thursday.
Yeah.
And then we will take whatever feedback we got from this last iteration, make some changes and mail it out to you between the 20th and the 22nd. So you've got a full week, if not a weekend, to take a look at it.
Okay.
It's long, it's 42 pages, so normally people have said, I like electronic or I like paper. So if you decide that you want paper and you normally want electronic things, just let us know, we'll run off copies. It is in color. And if you normally get paper, you'll get a paper one of this as well.
Okay, moving on. The action items, consent agenda. Do I hear, does any member wish to remove or to alter any of the topics? If not, do I hear a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second to that?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Okay, moving on. So we have approved the consent agenda, that's it. So we've in essence approved these bills, haven't we, at that? Yes, okay. Action items, 10-1, resolution for city for the execution of agreement of right-of-way for the city in this project. Any questions? A motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I thank you very much. Okay, the executive director negotiate a contract for the staff parking lot improvements. My only question is, do we have
Is,
a proposal at this
Yes, the
time?
proposal was in the
Packet.
Yes.
report packet.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
And roughly what was the anticipated cost on that?
For the construction or for the engineering?
Well, for the construction.
For the construction, it is about $100,000 for concrete or asphalt. And that is what I believe the board voted
Yes.
on as that plan that we should proceed
Yes.
with.
is this, my only question, is this an, proposal for bidding or a proposal for doing, contracting, actually hiring?
So this is the proposal
To
for
get bids.
the project by the engineers. We did
Mhm.
not bid out the engineering of the project because we're using an existing relationship. a vendor
Okay.
that we have worked
So they
with before.
normally do the engineering for,
They have done the
certain projects.
engineering for us for the porch.
okay,
And we asked them to do the engineering for the parking lot. And they will then handle the portions of the construction that, of bidding out for the actual construction and overseeing the project.
And of course, we will see those bids before they're accepted.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
so are they the only ones bidding, or are you getting bids from other construction agencies?
No, so we haven't bid for the actual construction agency. FirGrand is just the engineering company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's going to be developing the plan, and they're going to be bidding on our behalf.
Oh, okay.
And they will then make a recommendation to us about which bids to approve.
Okay,
That you will
okay.
then vote on.
That's
And
safe.
we will then have a contract with them. So there'll be two contracts, one with FirGrand, and then with the construction company. And the plan at this point is that the engineering piece will take place this fall, and that FirGrand we will go out to bid for the actual project in the spring. And
Okay.
we'll hopefully have this completed in the spring.
Did we go through last winter with the present arrangement, parking?
Yes, we did.
Did we have some
There are
difficulties?
tales to tell.
Remember the tree?
Yeah, the
and,
tree, that's what I
you know,
knew.
Snow and
that.
ice and, yes.
Potholes have gotten worse. They
Potholes.
got
Potholes.
worse over the winter
Yeah.
last year.
And what we're actually, I've instructed our maintenance company to, which Craig had recommended, to temporarily, since we're not going to be bidding out for this until the spring, and it won't get fixed till the spring, that we will use a temporary fix. It's using a product
tree?
called cold patch, which will fill those
Oh,
those
the potholes.
So people don't, yeah, so it's safer.
So they don't disappear.
For their
Yes.
cars, yeah.
Or stop disappear, yes. And hopefully we will not have another polar vortex coming our way. Because that made it worse.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do I hear a motion to accept that?
I so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those opposed, same sign. I thank you for that.
We didn't say aye or nay, or did we?
No, skip the regular.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
Maybe just reversing the order. I was waiting for the
Okay, we got
aye.
the second, and then it's like, okay, that's
Okay,
it.
Keeping us awake.
just getting in a hurry, that's all.
Actually, no, this is
I
interesting. stuff.
understand.
Item 10.3, payment of the rails invoice, $10,300. It's over $10,000, the reason we've got this in front of us. Is there a motion? Well, first of all, any questions?
This is the overdrive, right, that runs the email?
Ebooks.
I mean, the ebooks.
E-books.
Okay, my question regarding, what is the thing about with the book company and the ebooks? What's with that too? Is that, are these two together? See, Craig, are these two like, I wanted to understand if they were married together, or if are they living together, shacking, what's the deal?
They are not. So this invoice is for the platform fee, which is what allows us as a library and all of our patrons to have access to the content.
Right.
There is a particular publisher that has made some
Macmillan.
adjustments. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was.
In what they are allowing libraries to have access to that is not connected to this platform fee. And there are library organizations that are in the process of making statements right now with regards to those decisions.
Okay, no, I just wanted to, I know that Overdrive is a software you have to download so that you can read the ebooks and actually kind of keep the ebooks on your computer if you know how to move it to iTunes. But anyway.
Yeah, he's got to make a comment.
But I won't talk about that. Nobody heard that.
Okay.
You did not hear that. That is not, but,
I wouldn't know how to anyway.
Barb,
but
you had-
I just wanted to make sure it was, because I had gotten something in my email too about the Macmillan issue.
Yeah,
and
right.
How that, with the.
Is that what you're going to remark about?
Yes, that's what I'm going to remark about after you're done.
And is it possible that there would be products by this publisher on that platform? Absolutely.
Yes.
We have different ways that we have content available to patrons. Part of it is that we belong to a consortium, and so there are titles purchased with those consortium fees. And then we also have a private collection that is available just for our patrons, which is referred to as the Advantage Collection. That means our patrons receive them first and only. We have a member of staff who purchases our Advantage titles and then also works with the consortium. So the decisions that the consortium is making regarding purchase of those titles, I think will likely be a topic of some discussion moving forward. And with regards to the portion of the collection that we solely control through the Advantage titles is something that staff and I will absolutely be discussing as we go forward. But I think there may be some additional developments, hopefully, that will come about in the coming weeks and months.
Okie dokie.
Thank you. I just wanted to add thank you for getting that information out. This is a big deal in the library world. And the good news is there's pretty much consensus in the library world that the publishers, that Macmillan is not acting in good faith, frankly.
Yeah.
We have been working on this for decades. And the more pushback we as library users can give, the better. But I will say, I don't know anybody who's defended Macmillan except publishers.
Yeah.
Good.
Except the money people.
The money.
Company.
Okay, I move that we, right? Is that where
Yeah,
we
yeah.
are now?
Yeah,
Okay, so move to pay for payment of the rails invoice.
yeah.
I'll second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Payment of the Cincinnati insurance invoice, $32,000. This is an annual payment, isn't it? Semi-annual, okay. I don't think there's any question. We need
Just over
insurance.
$10,000.
And of course, it's over 10,000. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
All right, Chris, you call it. Who moved and who seconded it? We had 2 and 2 at the same time.
Oh,
You're the president, you get to call it.
who moved it?
You
Beth,
need- you need a coin?
Michael and.
Michael? Okay,
Barbara.
Michael moved. Who seconded?
Lupe and.
I'm sorry. I can't keep up. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Item 10.5 has been removed. Item 10.6 is the budget amendments. You have them in your packet. Any explanation that you'd like to give?
I'll see if there are any questions, I guess.
Yeah. Can you find what you're looking for?
No.
Can somebody describe to her what you're looking for? How's it start?
Oh, yeah, let me find here. Is this right?
Is it the big bills? It's not the bills.
No, it's not the bills.
I know I saw it somewhere, because I looked at it.
It's in the director's report.
Oh, it's in the director's report. That's right. That's what it is.
The director's report.
Oh, okay.
It's under finance,
Yeah.
and it's page 3.
If no questions, do I hear a motion to approve?
Oh, there. Okay. I moved to approve it.
Did I hear a motion?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is there a second?
Because I already read it.
Any further discussion? Did you have any questions after finding it? Okay.
Yeah, I found it.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I thank you for that one. The 3D printing revision, very, very minor,
Minor.
but we needed to update it. Any questions? If not, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Cannot be pouring it.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I thank you for that one. Revision of the library circulation management policy. These are things that, as we go through these, we've got timelines that need to be done some of them are 3 years, some of them are 5 years, isn't that pretty much it? Some of them 2, okay. Is there a motion to approve the collection management?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. The annual report to the city. I thought it was an outstanding report, I'll say that to begin with. I thought it was just,
Yes.
it looks like we're doing things. Any questions? If not, do I hear a
Doing
motion?
things.
Okay, I move to approve the annual report to the city council per 75 ILCS 5/4-10.
She is on top of it. Is there a second?
I second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you for that one. Okay, acceptance from the company for the maintenance services. That was in 2, wasn't it? Didn't we have 2 maintenance services?
Custodial and maintenance services.
So it's accept proposals from Clean as a Whistle, which is a local maintenance and custodial company. And their proposal met all of the bid requirements, and including cost and all the other pieces that are to be considered. Again, they are, a company also, according to the references to the outstanding work, they have some clients, they've been with them over a decade, and so have their staff that been with them for a decade. So, I was very impressed, both by their presentation and by their references. So, We would just like to move ahead for the library, Celeste on behalf of the library, to enter a contract with them to start services on October.
My question was, didn't we at one time have these as two separate contracts? But you've combined them? Maintenance?
Actually, they will stay separately. Currently, we have a combined contract. We bid them separately. The same company.
You bid them
We
separately.
are recommending that you accept both proposals from the same company as the low and meeting the criteria bids. And then we will negotiate the contract, which is very straightforward. It will bring you two contracts.
Okay,
But we thought it'd be more expeditious to just list it together.
okay.
And the plan is that we are using a template for the contract that was approved by the city. And city legal, and has been used for similar type of contract. So they're quite simple. They're essentially affirming that the company will meet all of the requirements of the bid proposal that they presented. And again, we will bring that to you at the next meeting.
So you're not approving the contract, which you haven't seen yet. You're accepting the proposal and authorizing me to work on the contract to bring you.
Thank you. That's the clarification I was looking for. Thank you. Is there a motion to accept this proposal contract?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Discussion items. I know I'm not. Does anybody have anything? Okay, moving on, then we have the Friends report. You have anything for us?
They recently met to get
Friends.
prepared for the book sale, which is coming up starting next week, Thursday night for members of the Friends, Friday, Saturday full price books, Sunday half price books, and then Monday book giveaways. So let people know if they're looking for books for their collection, for their school, for whatever. Monday is free book day. It coincides with the Sweet Corn Festival weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And it's going to be a big sale. They have lots of books.
That's, we need to know. Big sale. Everybody come. Wallets in hand.
I'll be out of town.
Okay, foundation. I'm trying to recall. There's any report. Amanda did a fantastic report, and I can't remember what all took place. Can you?
About our naming opportunities and past naming opportunities. And then we had a training as well.
Yeah, okay. And I want to say that I think that this is, I put a very high priority on this, and I hope that we get it accomplished, because people that have money out there ready to give need to know plans. I guess I'll put it that way. You got a remark?
Yeah, a related remark, I agree. And, yeah, I was just at a tea party in my neighborhood, which, my neighborhood, frankly, I mean, there are a lot of older people who are U of I, who used to work for the U of I, or their spouses worked for the U of I, and they have money. I mean, and Amanda, how do you want me to handle this? I mean, at this tea party, it's like around the table unanimously, the Urbana Free Library served my 5 kids for decades. I mean, the praise, and they gotta open their wallets, is what I'm thinking. So how should I handle this? Do you want individual names? Do you want me to have a tea party? I mean, what do you want us to do?
All of those things. I mean, the foundation board are the ones that are working on kind of meeting with donors and cultivating them, but as Chris said, they're putting a plan in place to do all of that.
Okay, so should I help
But
out
it would
in
be
this?
wonderful for you to host something and have someone from the foundation board and myself come and talk about the foundation and the
Okay.
opportunities. We would love to do that. Our annual campaign will be kicking off probably mid-October-ish, late October-ish,
Okay.
and we're actually going to have a kickoff event this year. At least that's what we're hoping to do. So there'll be plenty of opportunities to engage potential new donors.
Thank you.
I think the sooner we can get that in concrete,
Yeah,
that'll be.
Absolutely.
And what I want to echo what Barbara's saying there is, retired people from the University of Illinois all of a sudden find that they're getting bigger retirement checks than they got when they were working.
Yeah.
And it becomes a game, and IRS is not going to get it all.
Right, already in our will.
Okay, I think that takes care of that one. Now, Heartland, there's what I'm thinking.
Yes, so the new Heartland board members began with the start of the new fiscal year, And Heartland, as one of its initiatives for the upcoming period of time, is investing in professional development for libraries that are members of the system, of which we are. Information is available in L2, which is a portal available to library staff. They recently held a design thinking workshop, which was mentioned in a previous director's report, and which Dawn attended. They have regular Members Matters meeting and are offering some professional development regarding some software tools that are available to libraries, which I'll be attending later this month. And then IHLS is also making an effort to meet with all new library directors within the system. And so they are sending staff out to greet those new library directors and educate them about the system and its benefits.
Do you have any idea how many new directors there are in the system this year, last year?
Off the top of my head, I'm not certain, but what I can say is that at the most recent Directors University, which is hosted at the Illinois State Library and which new directors have the opportunity to attend, IHLS library directors numbered 18.
That's interesting.
L2, I got something in my email saying, you got L2 account at blah, 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 and I'm like, huh? And plus, and this is the thing, I wouldn't be so confused if I weren't also doing the security stuff that I have to do for the city.
Oh.
So I'm like getting stuff from Stanford Hess, folks phishing and the spam and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm not clicking on this because I have no idea what L2 stuff is,
I can assure you that L2
Okay.
is a good option to click on if you would like. The reason it's called L2 is it stands for Library Learning.
Okay.
So, and as a trustee, you would have a username and password, and your information is in the system as a trustee of the Urbana Free Library.
So but do I set it up or is it already, that's the other thing. See, that's why I was really like suspicious because I'm like, I don't understand what this is and I'm all paranoid because I'm not sure what everything was. So my question, I guess, is there a password? Do I have to come in and make a password and stuff for that, or do I do it after I click on to the thing?
You, I believe, would do it after you click onto the thing. So please go ahead and click follow through. But if you get stuck, feel free to let us know, and I'd be happy to reach out to Heartland and have someone give you a call.
Thank you.
Of course.
I did it the other day, and I think you do have to go in and just reset. They give you an initial password. You have to go in and reset it, but after that, it's pretty straightforward, and the email contained a username that you would use.
Okie doke, thanks.
And once you get in there, it's pretty easy.
All right. That's me being paranoid. Okay.
Okay, the next item of business, I think, is well, I have no report, no unfinished business, so do I have a motion that we go into closed session? Celeste?
For 13,
Yes, this director's report.
Oh, director's report.
Actually, I actually had
Administrative.
some comments on the director's report.
Okay,
Just
please.
nice and a question. One question is just how the FanCon went this last weekend.
Sure. So FanCon went well. It was a lower attendance, so we are seeing an overall trend of downward attendance. And we will have a write-up for you in the next director's report. However, the individuals that attended gave lots of positive feedback and were engaged. And if I could share one anecdotal sparkly moment from the weekend. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Warriors series. It is a J-fiction series that stars a clan or clans of cats, which do heroic things. And I have to say, I was supervising the board game room while someone was taking a lunch break, and I noticed a girl probably somewhere around the age of 10, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there, had a little cat nose and a tail, and she was engrossed in her book. And it took me a moment to recognize she had come to the library dressed in costume and checked out a Warriors book and was reading it, and that was her way of celebrating FanCon. It was very, very sweet and magical.
Well, I attended, and it was fun for my kiddos. My daughter couldn't decide what to dress up as, so she made her own costume. My kids are very much into comic books and superheroes, so my daughter borrowed a cape that used to be her brother's, and she decorated her own T-shirt in the morning before we came out, and so she was here in her T-shirt and cape. They played board games. They did the mini comic book making, which I thought was fabulous. Jordan did an awesome job. My kids have made like a dozen comic books out of these little single sheets that they keep making at home. So that was really fun, and I'm totally stealing that idea for birthday parties in the future. Save the instruction sheet in a special little file. So my kids really enjoyed it. It was neat to be here. I would have liked to see more people. I was kind of surprised driving in that there weren't, I was waiting for the parking lot to be overflowing, and would have been nice to see more people, but it was great. We
How
really
many
appreciated it.
people?
We had about, I would estimate 150, not all of our numbers are in yet.
That's
That's
So
good,
it's not a
still a
bad
good number.
what were you expecting?
I was hoping for closer to maybe 200 or 250,
Oh.
because that's closer to our numbers from previous years, but we did still have 150 people turn out, and I do specifically want to thank you for your recommendation
Of
to
Lynn?
reach out to Lynn Thomas. Her talk was very well attended.
She's wonderful.
She was very
Oh.
engaging and wonderful.
I'm glad it worked
and we'd
out.
love to work with her again.
Well, and it was
Good.
Champaign Urbana Days too, on Saturday. Is that when the fan con thing happened? So
Have we always done it
Champaign
at this time?
Urbana Days.
Has this been the time frame?
We've always done it at approximately this time. We are
Okay.
having a look at some possible other days. We're looking at the possibility of doing it once students are back. The concern is
That's what
that
Yeah.
right around the beginning of the semester, there are so many things competing for students' time. And also then our younger ones are back in school themselves, that we're not sure how successful that would be, but that is something that we are certainly looking at.
And I had one more comment, and that was just on the technology section. And, you know, it's fun to see that you're starting to use Teams just as a real nice way of helping communications and everyone knowing what everybody else is doing, and kind of keeping step with the current best practices. So, you know, a little bit of a learning curve, but it's not too bad. And once people get really comfortable with it, it's just amazing how much more connected everybody is. So that was just great to see.
Any other items? Amanda, I have a question in terms of professional development, the institute or whatever it was that you attended. Can you be specific, or if you can't tonight, maybe at another time, the communicating the impact? Because I
Yeah.
think that's really hard to do anytime, and I think this is,
Absolutely. So we will have an entire section of the board retreat all about impact and evaluation
Okay.
related to the strategic plan. So
Okay.
I have lots to say about that, and I want to hear all of your thoughts.
Okay.
Because right now we have a lot of great data, but we're not doing maybe a great job telling stories with that data. So we'll talk about how we can be better.
okay. And it's more than just figures.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other items that need to be discussed from the director's report? If not, I would like to have a motion to move into closed session. Would you please read the
I'm
entire
sorry.
thing?
I move that we go into closed session for discussion of compensation and performance of personnel pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C1 and discussion of destruction of verbatim items per 51 LCS 120/2.06C1 and 2.
Second.
All those in favor? Roll call, roll call.
Let me get my time down here. Okay, Jane.
Yes.
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 Yes.